So filling in the stuff at the top, something is a linear pair if it looks like this, so please draw it. You have two angles that are side by side each other on a line. And so I'm going to be lazy and call these angle 1 and angle 2. You're allowed to do that in geometry. It's fine. Okay, and these two angles are on a line. So they add up to 180 degrees. It's not points. So they add up to 180 degrees. So you would say, since they're on a line together, if you have a linear pair, you have to say things in two steps. The first thing you would say here is that angle 1 and angle 2 are, what's the special word? That they add to 180. Thank you. They're supplementary. And then after you said they're supplementary, you have to do this on a separate step, is that you say that they add to 180. So then you can do the equation thing we did on Thursday, which is say measure of angle 1 plus measure of angle 2 equals 180. So if you have a linear pair, they're side by side in a line, they're supplementary and add to 180. We're going to do an angle bisector, so this is not super specific. Here for this one, we're talking about for an angle bisector. Okay. If you have an angle bisector, like so, and again, I'm gonna be kind of lazy here and label these 1 and 2 because I don't feel like doing letters today. Okay, you can say, since if you know that you have an angle bisector, so let's say that this is BD. So if I know that BD is an angle bisector, then I know that it is cutting. Bisect means cut in two. So I know it's cutting this angle in half, and that these two should be the same. So if you're told you have an angle bisector, we learned about this last unit, it's slicing it in half. So then you can say an equation like this. You could say angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, or what we'll do most often
is the measure of angle 1 is the measurement of angle 2.
Yeah, the measure of angle 1 equals measure of angle 2. So we'll usually go to that first because using equals is just easier. Okay, so the midpoint is in the middle. So this also works for, this would be the same if you have a segment bisector. So I'm making a note here. If you have a segment bisector, then it's the same thing. All right, so midpoint, you have something like this, and you have a midpoint in the middle. If you're told you have a midpoint, then you know that these two pieces will be the same since the midpoint is in the middle. And just like the bisector, or even if you have a segment bisector, it works the same way. You could say that AM is congruent. Oh, I tried. Congruent. I'm trying. Congruent to BM. Or you can say equals, because that's a little easier, AM equals BM. So if you have a midpoint, you know it's cutting a segment in half. You have pieces that are congruent or equal to each other. That's part equals the part. So if you want to add a little note in the middle, for both of these, it is that part equals part.
Part equals part, but it is home.
On number 5, write down your givens, please. And it also says you're given the picture information. So you need to look at the picture, and we're also going to write down that stuff. So you're given information, you write down what it told you, and then also look over at the picture. You were told what those two angles are equal to in terms of x. Hold on. So go to your picture, and you were given an angle bisector. So you need to actually mark that in the picture. BC is your bisector. So in your picture, you will mark that this one is congruent to that one because bisectors say that they are equal in measure. Okay, you're trying to prove that x equals 75. Look at the picture and turn and talk to each other. Why does that make sense? Go. So it has to be 75 for them, those two angles to be equal to each other. So now, you know that when you have an angle bisector, you can write that these two angles, you just marked it, are congruent. And so when we do that, we write that DBC equals ABC. So the measure of angle, you can do ABC if you want, or DBC, it doesn't matter. The one on the right equals the one on the left. The reason is, this is new, the definition of an angle bisector. Those two angles are equal to each other because you have an angle bisector, is what you're saying. And then, now that you have, so we just did step 2, write an equation with the angle names only. All right, you can do some substitution with what, Morgan? What can I substitute or replace? So you can take this one and put it here, and this one and put it there. All right, this is just like what we did last week. So now replace it, and you'll write a new equation on line 3. So line 3 should say 2x minus 75 equals x, and your reason is substitution. Okay, now you just have an equation that you can solve, and as long as you get x equals 75, you're good. So remember, we do it step by step and justify each step. So you have variables on both sides. You're going to move your variables to one side. So subtract 2x. And you get negative 75 equals negative 1x.
Negative 1x.
So your reason for that is subtraction. Man, I wrote too big. When you're almost done, you have to get x by itself. So you're going to divide by negative 1 on both sides. You get 75 equals x because of division, and this is why it's important to number your steps. Okay, I probably should have done this a little bit differently. Look at what I have right now and what I was trying to prove. What's the problem? What's the problem, Lauren? Or do you not know? Okay. Yeah, right now it's actually backwards, and so that's probably my fault for making that happen. So I do have to take another step, and you have to flip it if that happens. So if it happens to you, make sure that you write the last step. I'm sorry for doing that. X equals 75, and the reason would be symmetric property, because then you have to flip it. If yours was already the correct way, like if yours was already x equals 75 when you solved, you don't have to do that. But I messed up, so I have to flip it. Okay. So let's talk about how you mark this in your picture, because this is kind of a weird one. Because you have two angle bisectors. You have the ABD, this one, is bisected by BC. Okay? So because that's happening, you can say that these two angles are congruent. And I would go ahead and mark that, because in a second you'll write the equation for it, and it's easier to do that if you have a picture. That's because BC is slicing that highlighted angle in half. Okay, and then you have your second one, which I'll do in red. Okay, so this angle is being cut in half. It says by BD. So by this one, BD, that's bisecting it. So when I go to mark it, you need to mark it differently. So you'll give it like 2 notches. That way it distinguishes the difference between the red one and the blue one. Okay, you're trying to prove that ABC is equal to DBE. So you are trying to prove that this one equals that one. Bisector. So you have to write 2, since you have 2 angle bisectors, you write 2 equations with the letters, right? Because that's step 2. You will write one that says about ABD, so that measure of angle ABC equals the measure of angle CBD. And this is because of the definition of an angle bisector. Okay, what's the other one? Please raise your hand if you can tell me. So that was the blue one. What's the red one gonna be? Lexi, do you think you can tell me? Yep. These ones are equal. Both of those are because of an angle bisector, and so you can do it on the same line. So then, why is ABC equal to DBE? It's because they're both equal to the same thing. Because they're both equal to CBD, you can say they're equal to each other. So that's the transitive property that lets you do that. Then I can say this. That's why it's important for you to know your properties. Because we're going to start using it a lot more. So this is transitive. You only have one given. Rough. All right. You're given that AC equals BD. If it were me, to mark that in my picture, I would say like, do something like this to note that they're the same. So those two are equal in measure, is what it tells me, AC and BD. You're trying to prove that AB equals CD. So you are trying to prove this is congruent to that. Just want you to see it. Okay. It's getting trickier now because you just have letters. So I'll write an equation for AC. So AB plus BC equals AC. That's one equation because of the segment addition postulate. I also need one for BD. Bella, what could I write for BD? So it's BC plus CD equals BD. That's wrong. BD. There we go. So you write both. You write an equation for AC. You write an equation for BD, which is your givens. And now we can start doing some step 3, substitution. There is some substitution. It's just hard to see. What can I replace in these equations? It's right here. So this is a tricky one to see because it's not numbers. You can replace AC with BD.
That's exactly what I was like.
Or you can replace BD with AC. Either one. I'm going to replace AC with BD. So on the next line, you'll AB plus BC equals not AC, but BD. And this is substitution. So basically what you're trying to do is like write some stuff that's true and then look for substitution. Because now, if you look at these two steps, you should see something hopefully that's kind of helpful. Okay. Because you're subtracting BC from both sides. In the picture, it should say 3x and 2x plus 1. Sorry about that. So you'll say, for instance, that AB equals 3x and BC equals 2x plus 1 because that was it given in your picture. So a good habit to start doing now is look over at your picture and see if there's any numbers or labels that you should write down. Okay, you're trying to prove that x equals 4. I would ask you why it makes sense to do that, but I want to save some time. Okay, the reason it makes sense is if you plug in 4 over here, 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 4 plus 1 is 9. So you have 12 and 9, and if you add those up, you get 21. So it's going to be another one of those things where you do part plus part equals whole. So you have to use the segment addition postulate since you were not told it was a midpoint. So I'm going to help you start this one, and you're going to finish it. So the first thing you do after you think about why it makes sense, because I plug in 4 and then it makes it add to 21, you have to write an equation with just the letters. So AB plus BC equals AC because of the segment addition postulate. And then do some substitution and solve. You have so much substitution. Here, here, and here. Substitute and solve, and make sure you explain each step. I'm going to let you finish that one, and I'll put the answer on the board in a second. Make sure when you're solving the equation that you justify each step like we did the other week.